Looks like our race time timer's counting down. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what we're gonna get. Dark ammo. Having our pretty typical slowish start. A weapon upgrade to pick up, so it's just our up.
Introduction, I'm having a little bit of a restream issue.
It happens. Better that happens early on than at the 10th point during the race.
Little friend, the Alpha Splitter.
Pretty straightforward start here. Let's see what we get here and what that will lead to. So we should be seeing what has replaced the ETM this time. Probably is going to be violent, but yeah. What's sitting up there? It looked relevant at least. I think that's emerald.
I could not tell myself.
When Crash was looking at it, I think it looked green.
Yeah, it had a bottom green light on it. Yeah, just...
We'll find out once they get space jump or more bombs. So
not necessarily in that order.
either will work. Going for the relatively slow start this time, which has been kind of rare compared to some older sheets. Oh, there's a key. The Dark World version of that room. Could be ominous, could just be a temple key we don't need, but
And there's Space Jump.
into Aegon we go. Dark Aegon keys are very well spread out, by the way. It is nice to have space jump early. That gives you some decent mobility. does feel slow to have to encounter this stuff without even some missiles.
At least we always have charge.
Imagine Echoes chargeless. The potential evil you could get with that.
Raise your hand if you would even want to attempt that.
Yeah, I think that was a Borger. Yeah, it was a Borger. Powerbomb expansion. So no logical power bombs with that yet, but we'll allow for some checks. And some E.
Into the
Might as well
cannon
check
we
this
go.
one, yeah. There,
And
there's
the
light beam. Yeah.
My apologies.
Now we're getting somewhere. Not getting terribly far yet, but we are getting places. No range shots, so it's probably not something atrocious hidden there. It's interesting to know that light beam is bomb locked, yeah, so that does give us some potential logic implications.
Both runners deciding to return back to the Sky Temple grounds.
I don't think there really is much else that you could logically do in Aegon, if at all. Still didn't see what was in here, but with the way the runners are avoiding it, even though they now have space jump, it's probably something kind of irrelevant. Missile expansion, so still no logical missiles, but yeah, we're getting a couple things mostly out of logic, but Crash is going for that, and it was E. Makes sense that Cestriel avoided it then. Guess I just feel comfortable with slightly less E compared to how much time it takes to get that one. Oh, now that's tasty. That is suddenly a lot of mobility and combat potential. That should speed things up a fair bit. Ooh. Main PBs and they're dupable. That is nice. Suddenly very well stocked in terms of burgers.
Who needs normal bombs?
I'd kind of like to be able to bomb jump personally, but you could always just through and tack into a hole and maybe see if you can use some out of bounds shenanigans to reach stuff anyway. But not everyone is comfortable with that. Let's see what's over here. Ooh. Amber. That has some value. We're getting stuff here. And it's not all the typical stuff. Still can't quite tell what that is there in the wind chamber, but
First glance at it from Crash's side, I think it looks like a missile expansion.
would explain why they're not bothering to go for it, because if you've got screw attack with the level these runners are, there are ways to get up there. Yeah, having screw attackers early does also mean that you can get through the wind chamber quickly the way you're supposed to, instead of doing dashes that just barely get you between platforms. Right, you need bombs to bump yourself up there. Triple bomb jump, that's how it worked. Oh yes. Hint telling us exactly where we just got our power bombs. Thanks, game.
Hey, you know, it's very useful. It's doing its best.
Theoretically, you could have gone back and learned that it's where it always is with that one bug if you do normal seeds. Yeah, that was Emerald.
Checking the item. Oh,
So we got a lot of translators already. 3 out of 4. So that should also mean lots of hints, which is really nice. Or it can be really nice unless the game keeps giving hints like the one we just got.
with all these translators in tow, it does open up quite a good gates.
Yeah. In before the logic now takes us straight to Sanctuary, but so far at least, RNG has been a lot nicer than it has been in the recent past. Yeah, let's see what's sneakily hidden here. Opening that gap with extreme prejudice. Oh, even more
PB.
We're not even 15 minutes in and we're at 8 power bombs available. Woo.
Enough for the whole family.
So yes, hello, SpeedGaming Prime Channel viewers. Welcome to this freshly started Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer race, where we received a lot of translation capability and heavy firepower in this just started run. I'm currently going a bit back and forth between Temple Grounds and Aegon with the limited number of checks that have been available so far. But things should be opening up a bit now, although I don't think we've gotten our logical missile launcher yet.
Not that I have seen. Nope.
But that line beam is on logic with power bombs, so we should also be able to get a decent number of hints now that we've got Amber.
I've got a feeling we might be on our way to go check Bomb Guardian.
There's a couple checks along the way. Some more boss key locations for Torvus. Well, and that's
There's
our
the
logical
launcher,
missile
so-
launcher. Yep.
Aegon's our oyster.
Just to find Dark Beam and we can go lots of places. Hup, yep. That Hainton Main Plaza was just where the Emerald was. Thanks, game. And yeah, Bomb Guardian should be removed with extreme prejudice here. You can manage to mess that up. I've had it happen often enough, but... Ooh, a Sky Temple key. We can't get into the temple yet because we don't have regular bombs. So that slightly limits our checks.
Well, there's bombs.
Well, that takes care of that. Oh no. That is a potentially nasty signal. Something very evil is being set up by this logic here, if I'm to believe this well-informed viewer. If that read of the logic is correct, and I think it is, if we have a required chica, things are evil. Well, we've got a bit of a divergence. Crash going into Pirate Labs.
Fast on their way to Sanctuary.
Let's see if either direction yields noticeably better results. Couldn't quite tell what was there, it's probably not important in that thing, and just more missiles in the gate room here. Dark Aegon key. Probably the least bad of the keys to acquire. I think there's an out of bounds you can use to skip it as well, but... There are lots of things that have out of bounds to skip them in this game. Even more energy for Crash. Nice and healthy at least. Missile related upgrade in Battleground. At least the cache there.
Considering how echoes can be a little rude sometimes, not all that bad to have some safety E.
Especially with no suits yet. You could easily just find Dark Beam soon and then have Dark Aegon with a lot of progression. And in that case, having a couple E-tanks is really nice. Crash going to get some bombs. Soonish. Sestrian did pick up Dark Beam, so... plenty of opportunities for a lot of places to have stuff now. Spider up to 3 rooms away from security access A. Which room was that again? Well, we'll figure it out. Runner's getting an excellent little arsenal of mobility, at least. Sestrian doing a screw attack trick to skip Seekers here. It's always nice. Major upgrade. In Dark Harvest Temple.
So, the tunnel little puzzle was where Dark Beam was. Crash just picked his up.
Mm-hmm.
Electing not to go into Sanctuary, granted the one check only gave us the Aegon key, so fair play.
There were some other visual inspection checks, but they were not too relevant if they weren't picked up, so... Also saying that required upgrade is gonna be grapple, so not required at all. Because we can't get anything fun. I do believe we have final bosses enabled with this thing, but I don't remember exactly. There's a key in that dark room, okay. Now also making the trip into Pirate Labs. Dark Oasis was that room. So, very possible that we got some required light suit this seed. One way or another. Which could be very, very bad depending on where light suit is. But like if we get both suits in the next couple of checks, it's not that bad. But oh, speaking of, what is that? Ball upgrade. Spider ball. even more mobility has been obtained.
Sincerest apologies on the post.
No problem, we're progressing pretty comfortably anyway. Although it might be a comfy kind of horror depending on how things shake out. So I don't think we've had a reasonable seat this month yet in Echoes or Prime 1. Now both runners are going to see what Dark Aegon has in store for us.
I want to mention in the chat with having Spider means that we can go check the PB Guardian.
It's more the Dark Oasis item doesn't appear until you've until you've picked up the item dropped by Powerbomb Guardian. That is a classic way to softlock yourself. Forgetting about that, basically the item despawns once you unload the room. And if you need the item in Dark Oasis, that can be very bad. People have lost runs to that.
I'm just remembering everything that goes on.
I think that's more E. Yeah. More E is very much appreciated with the current status of these runners' kit. A lot of tools, but without suits, going through a dark world is always kind of risky. Oh, well, speaking of suits, we take those. Without Annihilator, we have to see these fellas dead the old-fashioned way. At least some of them. Just lost them with Light Beam. And suddenly the Dark World has become a fair bit less threatening. And the runners are running fairly synchronously at the moment, so we'll see when things split up again. I believe there are some differences in the exact items they have. Back into the light world for Cestrian. Once more gets a power bomb to the face. The easy manner to delete that menace to quick final bosses. If only Dark Samus 4 could be gotten rid of that easily.
Oh, but then it wouldn't be as fun. All the time save. We can't have that.
Yeah, from what I remember, it's in terms of how the fight works, also not one of those fights where you could have a fixed boss RNG seed based on your rando. I know fixing certain RNG seeds is a thing that's being worked on for Prime 1. So you could do stuff like have your Zoid fight RNG be equal between runners for fairness. But now both players are checking some stuff that the other already checked previously. Which I think will make Cestrion a bit happier than Crash. Though at least for Crash this checking is a bit less stressful than it was for Cestrion. Real Metroids. Starting now, the question is, what other stuff do you want to go and check next? Because I don't think we have logical access to Tarvis yet. At least not most of Tarvis.
Are we not? Not through the front door?
Doesn't that require Seeker or Supers after a bit through? Right, Ember.
Oh, I meant front door Torvis from Great Temple grounds.
There's a bit to check there.
And here I am asking for the long way.
We don't want runners to just have everything the easy way, right?
I like a good slow burn run.
I'm not bothering with that E. Because yeah, at this point in the run, 3 tanks and Dark Suit is reasonably comfy. Unless the seat throws you into the deep end from here.
Well, go on, go fight Quadraxis.
Honestly, not the worst thing the seat could do to you. Press getting yet another experience of thanks game for a hint telling me where this item I already have was. Meanwhile, another demonstration of why early power bombs are very practical. Yep. The bombs were in Sand Canyon, thanks game. I think so far we've had...
I think this is going to be the reoccurring theme.
We've had boss key hints and hints for items we already have. Alright, and that cursed hint about a major item. So far it's obvious stuff and ominous stuff. At least the game hasn't been asking us to do really complicated stuff. At this point, I'd say boost is the next big thing if we want to have a lot of the world open up at once. Oops, that's a mistake from Sestrian. Just touching that light field triggers this fight.
What fight?
The fight with a couple of warrior in that room.
Odd.
It only triggers if you
I tried
walk
a light
through that
field.
specifically. Let's see what's over here. Just missiles. No need to bother with the power bomb in that case. I might have wanted to do that, but let's see what the sneaky fellow in this room has after checking the broom closet. Ooh. Let's hope we get to see that, some of that in action.
Another one of those combos that can help out during final bosses.
And in a couple of other places as well, especially if you pick up infinite missiles and infinite ammo. Yeah, time to give a bad time to Sir appearing in a little bit.
There he is. And there he goes.
I love that. Even more Borgar. We're drowning in power bombs. I think Crash was very optimistic that that was annihilated for a moment before realizing that they picked up Sonic Boom. Yeah, so far, even though the runners have an excellent supply of burgers, they have been very conservative in actually using them.
Two out of 3 Aegon keys. I'm holding my breath.
Would be pretty classic to see both runners fight Morbius, but then it turns out to just be an expansion or something. Sestrian also sharing in the joy of getting told where Emerald was after picking it up like 20 minutes ago. But let's see where they're headed now. Background music. Used to dislike it, but somehow started enjoying it after watching rando stuff for a while. Ooh, another key. Orvos, key 3. Not sure what I want to think about that.
We shall just all pray that it means nothing. Except for me,
Yeah,
I do.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Let's see what our friend DMT has for us this time. And how quickly they die. Just missiles.
Vanilla missile expansion.
And the ship has more E. Reasonably healthy seat. We have kind of been running dry lately in terms of new progression options.
Ah, the good old joke key.
It is an important reminder that you need to stay hydrated. Cheers.
I can't believe I've been reminded to go get a cup of water.
I just have water next to me basically at all times when doing a run or commentating like this. Just nice to have.
Very smart, especially if you talk about. Speaking of, I'll go grab some. I shall return.
Let's see what's in Phase on Ground. While Sesgrim casually splats another Dark Metroid. Ooh, is that another Dark Key? Aegon. Is it time, people? Is it finally time again? Yeah, with the amount of keys we're already finding. Decent odds that the Cursed Lake is an STK. Though I am the kind of person to make horrible oversights in my logic insights, so... I must say, with all the different color options for HUDs available now, what Sexcom is currently using is a bit difficult to read, especially in certain parts of the world. calling boost on a Morbus, which would open up a lot. Another interesting option would be light on a Morbus. Light suit. That would imply things. It removes a lot of the Dark Aether threat.
Another useful key.
And oh yes, a beam can be found in Aegon Waste. I think we might have gotten that one. And while you are ensuring your hydration options, Cestrion has found the third Dark Aegon key.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's time for a play here.
Just a quick welcome to everyone coming in from SpeedGaming 2. We are having a Metroid Prime 2 randomizer run, as you can see. We have a whole bunch of Borgers.
Yeah, we've got a lot of heavy firepower in terms of power bombs. We got Sonic Boom. And we're now getting a bit of out of bounds here. Which is, for those confident in their abilities, an incredibly useful tool in Echoes, as you can see. Still a bit risky going out of bounds in the Dark World without Light Suit, but as long as you've got Dark Suit and a couple of E-Tanks, it's generally pretty safe. Unless you mess up horribly. So
Definitely
I
don't
try
want to
it,
fall out of that invisible box.
Well, even then, with the amount of health and the amount of time that gives you with Dark Suit, it's very much saveable. But this way, without Seekers and without Supers, there can still be a bit of progression towards the site of the Sky Temple key hints. Looked like a missile in the thing, or was that something more important? And here another go at out of bounds, simply by screw attacking into a Morph Ball sized hole. Because while screw attacking, Samus is the size of the Morph Ball. So if you angle this precisely, you can just slot in there, and then when you stand up, your upper body pops out of the Morph Ball tunnel. And suddenly you're out of bounds. And where Prime 1 out of bounds is a bit of a hassle and not that useful compared to the risk in a lot of places, Prime 2 out of bounds can be incredibly valuable. Although it is still a bit fiddly in places.
Remind my old aging brain that it's a 4-frame window to jump when you're out of bounds.
3, I think, but something like that. But even if you fail to jump, it doesn't cost you that much. And skilled runners generally just end up with a rhythm. But yeah, let's see where we gotta go for this one. How bad is it gonna be? Venomous Pond. Dungeon. Path of Roots. Torva's Energy Controller. Aerial Training Site. Dark Oasis. Accursed Lake. Gathering Hall. And then the reset to Get out of there.
So
yeah, we
6
have
in the
some.
bogs I've seen.
Yeah, there are some requirements here. Gravity is in Hive Dynamo works. Crash has just found out, so that's interesting. And yeah, light suit and dark visor hard required. And PB Guardian, so yeah. There's stuff to do. This is not exactly going to be a jet seat unless something really drastic happens. But even then, we're already 50 minutes in, even though it hasn't quite felt like that yet. And Crash is headed to Torfus. Don't remember if gravity is required for dungeon, but in many cases where gravity is technically required, air underwater is an option. Looks like it's just some energy there in Lagoon. Cobalt is in Hydro Dynamo. Ooh. I'm finding out about gravity. Pirates being a pain in the ass as they do. What do we have here?
Even more
energy.
E.
Very healthy seed. Pretty interesting things with how this seed is working so far. Just some light ammo there. Yeah, Cestrion has also decided that it's Torfus time. Bad times for pirates. So far I'd say this seed has been only moderately cursed. I love that screw attack to just rack that skiff. The environment is not cooperating with Crash. To be fair, those plants are a pain without Dark Visor.
I've been silently racking my head over what sort of checks we would be missing out on, since I don't believe we've found supers yet.
No supers, no seekers, no boost, no annihilator, no darker echo. There's still quite a bit locked to us, but also a fair amount of checks actually already available, spaced out throughout the world. Sestrian actually going for the dark ammo. Yeah, they have all three Marber's keys, but so far neither of these runners have been willing to commit. I think they're just desperately praying that it's not the case. They do not want the Worm Rave. Which means it's probably the Worm Rave, but we'll find out. Right, there's that STK.
I'm not going to say too much as a super novice speedrunner, but Morbus is indeed looking more and more viable.
There's still plenty of other checks, and it's the classic, why would you try fighting a boss when you have plenty of other things to do? Or at least feel like you have plenty of other things to do. You don't want to go all the way to Aegon, fight the boss, and then find out that it was just more E. Or maybe a missile. Yeah, we do have additional runners beyond the two that we have on stream here. These two fine competitors volunteered to show off their skills. Or alternatively, show off themselves being tormented by the RNG, but that's part and parcel of running randos. Sometimes RNG just has it in for you. Bit of out of bounds, just trying to get in there, but it's just missiles. Interesting that it chose to use an out of bounds to get in there instead of going for a screw attack. I don't think we've had any friendly seeds this month for either of the Prime games so far. Maybe the game is saving them for the cross-game cup or something. Or maybe the seed generator has just evolved to become yet more cruel. Time for some more out of bounds. Because who needs super missiles? It looks like it's just missiles in there. Unless I wholly misread what that was, what I was looking at there. Zestrian trying to figure the positioning to get back in bounds, it seems. Because yes, even in the dark world, the upper and lower parts of this room are just one room, so you can actually drop down there and get in. Which is weird, but useful. And the weird but useful is like a very apt description of a bunch of stuff in Echoes.
True, but this is also a very good showcase of just how powerful being able to traverse the out of bounds of Echoes can be.
Yeah. Let's hope we don't find out why it can also be risky. So that's always sad when it happens. Ooh, there we go, back in bounds.
Back inside. And here we are.
Crash.
Worms.
It's time for the worm rave. And we'll find out what the Warbus is guarding soon, so please don't seriously spoil what people off stream are finding. Casual extra missiles in the lower dark torvus there. Restock everything. What's hidden here? Look like energy. So nope. Well, nice straightforward Warbus fight for Crash. It's not a very complicated boss, especially when you have the resources these runners have at this point in the run. But it still takes a while. Just a missile here. And from a boss in one place, that gives us a missile. Let's see what this other boss is giving us as Cestrion fights the Power Bomb Guardian.
Crash, aptly dropping a power bomb on the worm's corpse.
At least Cestrion knows that this fight is required because it's needed to unlock one of the Sky Temple keys they need. Yeah, we're step 1 out of 3 of the potential all bosses fought but none required, which is like the ultimate curse. PB Guardian being a pain. Crash is traveling between worlds yet again. Oh, managed to salvage that, getting hit by a power bomb. And yes, that is a thing. If Powerbomb Guardian manages to hit the powerbomb door at the top of the room with a powerbomb during the fight, it will actually break that lock. That is something that you're not logically expected to do, I believe, but it is something that runners can use to get through there. Session has to remember to, no matter what this is, pick up this item. Just a missile. It was
More
indeed.
bait. Sort of.
Yeah, required bait in this case. At least Estrigan is clearing out this part of the world. Yeah, you're not expected to utilize PB Guardian's own attacks to ensure your escape in Trick's logic. But even then, it's an option if you're confident that you can bait it out.
Well, looks like Crash is headed back over to Sanctuary.
How much is left of that available anyway? Oh hey, another boss.
Boss rush percent. Let's go.
This is the kind of boss where you kind of wish you had Sonic Boom and double damage. Well, they have Sonic Boom, but you need Annihilator, so yeah. I might as well drop some PBs while Grapple Guardian is being dramatic. Oh, and it looks like the item in the Dynamo is on Spider Guardian itself. Yep, Boss Rush did just get added to thread, so maybe the randomizer is just decided that it wants to join in on the fun.
Perhaps. At least give us an all bosses seed.
It's not all bosses required, at least today. Unless all players hardly misread what was in the plaza, but don't think that's quite the case. Also, bonjour, SpeedGaming Français viewers. It is interesting to see the different kinds of checks that these players are running into now. So curious to see which path is the proper one.
I do enjoy a good bit of diversity, especially after following along pretty close to each other for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, there was like a bit of divergence, but mostly like them doing the same things in different orders.
Definitely, and this entirely different routing is very, how should I say it?
Yeah, it should be interesting. We'll have to see who gets rewarded for it. Oh, more hints. Echo is in Torvus. Okay. And that? Oh, Lear's got some goodies for us.
You're always a bro.
Annihilator. Well, we already have Sonic Boom. Probably kind of rare that O'Lear has the good stuff, but we'll take it. Yep, Cestrion getting air on the water, which is nice. Really practical trick. And there's Cobalt. Ah yes, delete the res bits. When I was a kid, res bits were such a pain. And now they're still sometimes pretty much a pain. Let's see what Cestrion gets for a hint there. Hive Temple keys are in. Thank. What do we get? Ooh. Boost ball. That opens some options. Yeah, Ink keys are practically irrelevant. You can just get in there anyway. Ooh, even more burgers. And some sneaky tricks scanning through the crack to get that SDK. And Torvis Plaza has suit. That is a practical piece of advice. There's Grapple. And yeah, that little scan through the cracks is such a nice little trick. Saves so much hassle. Some might call it cheating. I just call it optimal. And they're right back out of the vault. Okay, which major items are left available here? Not a lot.
Basically the visors.
Oh no. What if Chica is vanilla dark? Which is required.
Is that safe
No,
before
there's
going to Boost
Cannonball.
Guardian?
Crash just got Cannonball, so... What do we have there? Oh.
Arc visor.
There it is. There's Seekers. Suddenly we're finding everything.
So Torvis has both of them.
Unlimited beam ammo. When you have Sonic Boom, unlimited beam ammo is pretty handy.
Both runners finding very good items for progression, for sure.
And now there's a bit of a tricky situation for Sestrian. How are they going to get back out of here? It is theoretically possible, but... There we go. Abuse the respawning blocks and you could just barely make it across again. Yeah, after all that
Definitely
hassle, Sestrian takes a save.
Definitely agree with that. And returning to start by the look of it.
Makes sense. The checks around there are generally exhausted. I do think with what we've seen so far and the implications, this is a pretty nasty seed. It's living up to the trend of the month. Although not in quite the explosively nasty manner that some other seeds have recently. What's hidden here in the sand? More power bombs! Yes, 10 power bombs! Because why not?
The real victory condition is collecting them all.
But do you ever truly have enough burgers as long as they're good burgers? Alright, what happens again if you go over the max for burgers? Does it roll back over or does it just do nothing? I don't remember.
Seems it just caps.
Yeah. That is a thing in certain older games where the limit for a certain item is based on like the size of the storage space. There's what numbers fit in there. So when you go over the cap, you roll back over to the minimum value for that storage space. Allows some delicious abuse in certain games. Oh yeah, Crash got in the bad news. What if Dark Torvis Temple is light suit? Is that possible? Was it a suit in Dark Torvis?
It said Echo was in there, so we at least know that those. I don't know about the suit.
We do also need Echo, right? Don't remember the exact requirements for the SDKs.
I believe, as far as the STKs went, it was just light and dark that were hard required.
Yeah, light suit or supers there. Not friendly. Not the nicest of scenes. And oh, we're getting more hints. What was that? Dark Tarvus Arena. Yeah, that was
That
Dark
was the
Five
dark.
Star. Yep. Thanks, game.
So Echo is in normal Torvus.
Oh, that Dark Dynamo Works has a movement system. Yet more hints. Quad missiles. Yep, that's good news. Meanwhile, Seekers strike again. Because Seeker's gonna Seeker. Suit in Torvus Plaza. So that's where light is.
Right. It just means that it is likely that supers are on Chica.
Sestrin about to go grab the goodies of Olier.
These two, while they are in totally separate locations, are amazingly well paced together.
It's again the classic. They're trading places when they're checking what, basically. That hint was for Annihilator Beam in the room with Annihilator Beam. How many levels of Thanks Game are we on today?
Yes. The seed really out here saying, we don't want to help you.
Well, I guess Olier just put a sign next to his gift, what his gift was. In case you forgot.
Wait, I thought it was supposed to be if plasma.
Olir can give you plasma, but only if you're playing cross game. Not going quite right with the boost jumps there. Thankfully, it doesn't take that much time to get back up here, even if it is a bit finicky. The plant almost locking crash off, but he's in there. And the plant pays for trams. There we
There's
are,
the
a
light
light
suit.
suit. Oop. Oh, such a nice aesthetic light suit. Pretty unique from Metroid standards as well. I know some people kind of dislike it, but
It has its finesse. It definitely gives off the alien vibe.
it's so well tied into the aesthetics of this game in that regard. One of my favorite Metroid suit designs, period. Meanwhile, the checking the checks the others have checked continues. There's Darby Dark. Ooh, Guardian getting slapped once again. Was it Boggy missile related? Yeah. Crash having a bit of a slight problem with those collapsing blocks as well, but with Boost Ball it's a lot easier to deal with it. Yeah, these trackers are really filling up. I do believe both players have Annihilator now, which the tracker has apparently eaten, but
You took the words right out of my mouth.
yeah. Op is solo carrying our tracking effort here, so pretty impressive considering the amount of stuff we've been getting lately again. Sometimes it's easy to... Dark Aegon Waste, Sky Temple Grounds, and Temple Grounds for the Torvus keys.
Ouch.
Inventory 2 most is a Torvus key. Cestron is struggling with the little trick of trying to sneak past the statue.
Breaking in.
Yep, getting in the back door through the statue. Looks like Cestron is just slightly missing the positioning. There we go.
Hey.
Straight into the face of a blog.
Bloggers.
Giga Super is confirmed with that hint. Yep.
I missed the hint. Was it on Centurions then? Pedestrians?
Pedestrians, yeah. The hint in this room confirms the supers on Chica.
Oh boy.
So that means Chica is logically required. Although I believe there are ways to avoid the hassle. Yeah, the seat has indeed turned out to be not too friendly. But more in the pain in the ass logic way and not in the absolutely murderous way, thankfully. Cestron will be able to traverse onwards to obtain light suit now. Which should be handy, seeing as it's required and stuff. I got this check. What do we get here? Just some light ammo. Not very practical when you've already got unlimited, but yeah. The big question is, what's Crash gonna do now? Just go get the Sky Temple ground stuff? Probably. There we go. I hope. Yep. Sestrion has light suit as well. There was just a missile there. A light suit was obtained only fairly recently. It was in Torres Plaza. We had a reasonably early dark suit, and then mid to late in the route, depending on which way you went first, light suit, which is required, so.
Ideally, midway through the run.
Yeah, at several points so far, our two runners have gone in different directions, done stuff, and then went in the other direction and done the stuff that the other person had done first. Which is kind of nice, to be honest. As Sestrion is getting air underwater yet again. Saving the whole hassle of going for gravity, because if I remember correctly, that's on Spider Guardian, so no. Rather not, basically.
Yeah, we saw earlier that Spider Guardian is the grav boost.
A lot of bosses featuring or supposed to be featuring in this scene. Because of course, as is often the case with this kind of rando, our runners do have some alternate solutions for some of those cases.
Aegon being a fairly reliable transport hub of sorts.
That's one of the things I do like about the Echo's world design, is that the interconnectedness is in a nicely evenly spread way. At least generally. That's a thing in Prime 1 where, with regular elevators, the connectivity between areas can be a bit weird. Which fits with the narrative and game progression, but once you randomize stuff, but not randomize the elevators, it can be a bit messy. Bit of an EMP grenade pedestrian there.
Ah, the tube tunnels.
Well, a lot of people here love tubes, so. Well, Crash makes use of a practical barrel pod. So why would you move the platform when you could just hop on that? Crash deciding that if you're down there anyway, might as well scan the stuff. Which is reasonable. Well, we're getting some dark underwater action. In a bit of a maze.
I always wondered how, you know, if you didn't have light suit, you couldn't go into them.
Yeah.
And once you do, you can.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Ah, question from Draconis. There is a pickup in this called unlimited beam ammo. So that's why the beam ammos aren't going down, no matter how much Crash is firing off his all-time favorite, the Annihilator beam.
Yeah, we've got a couple of the multiplayer pickups available as stuff you can find in here. Along with Cannonball, which is the state you're temporarily in when you're fired from a cannon. There are possibilities for obtaining Cannonball in actual gameplay. Not an intended mechanic, of course, but you can do it. And it makes certain fights, especially Chica, significantly easier. Yeah, unlimited beam ammo and unlimited missiles are things you can find. And when you happen to run into them, it's quite practical in a lot of cases. Especially when you combine it with Sonic Boom in some cases. Double damage is also in there, yeah. That's some real stuff. That really changes some fights to be significantly less of a hassle.
In this current case, Sonic Boom is the only beam combo that we have.
Yep, I haven't found the light and dark ones,
Burst,
and
no sunburst, or the sun trap. Oh boy.
And about supers. Yeah.
Because Supers is on Chica. Woohoo!
Time for some out of bounds by Sestrian. Straightforward, just screw attack into that hole. Is Sestrian just gonna out of bounds to the temple? Okay. Yeah, Sestrian has been choosing to go with the out of bounds threats in a couple of places. They're pretty practical if you're comfortable doing them. Meanwhile, one of the other runners going off stream, Captain MD, is expressing some sentiment about this seed. Specifically, it's all going terribly wrong. Yes, melting bosses with Unlimited Annihilator is a lot of fun. And yeah, if you're seeing weird door behavior with when Crash rolls near to them, that's also because of Cannonball. If I remember correctly, it's that it opens doors that used to have a blast shield in front of it.
In which that one had...
That one's secret locked, right?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's secret lock. Both ends.
Yeah, because that leads into that pain in the ass line of vertical seek targets room in a little tunnel.
That's seemingly having a little bit of trouble with this ether jumping.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Crash is biting the bullet. Time, people, for another major boss. Because we already had the Worm Rave, although it turned out to be a missile, so bait. Yeah, some of those multiplayer problems do make things a fair bit easier, but it also makes it interesting because that means that they can speed up your progression through the seed, which for many people is an interesting choice, but that's part of the fun of randomizers. You can pick your own settings and create the kind of challenge you want for yourself, which is a really enjoyable kind of freedom. And of course, for races and race tournaments, you do want the kind of setting that all competitors can feel reasonably comfortable with. Though even in those, you can often get runners' agreements to try something special, which can get pretty interesting in some cases.
Definitely is one of the first times I've seen someone say Echoes was easy. Compared to the other two games in the series, of course. It is my favorite. Probably because of its difficulty.
I personally prefer Prime 1 over Echoes, but the big key there is that I really enjoy the atmosphere of Prime 1 more than the atmosphere of Echoes, at least for certain parts of the world. Oh, and Clarvus Temple had the hint that Omarbus was bait. Yet another thanks game hint.
This game really pouring salt on the wounds.
Yeah, especially after that out of bounds for it as well.
So Sesta knows that they don't have to go check Morbus at least. Because I believe only Crash was the one who did a Morbus.
Yeah, I strongly suspect that this might be a Cestrion does neither of these bosses while Crash did both case. I think Cestrion is just gonna bypass. I think you can bypass all the super requirements going out of bounds. Also enjoying the chicken music.
On the topic of music, I guess, what is your favorite Echo's boss fight music?
For boss fight music, it's tricky. My favorite track in Echoes overall is the one of the multiplayer songs. The Green
Ace
Brinstar
one?
remix.
Oh,
Oh, thanks, Cannonball. Here's a super missile. Time to get out. Yeah, Adult Chica is just deleted by Cannonball. Because Cannonball deals ludicrous amounts of damage per frame to any enemy that does not have its damage resistances coded specifically against it. In most cases, they did remember to properly do that, but there are a few exceptions. Cannonball's also the answer if you really hate res bits. Assuming you can manage to touch them in Cannonball.
so since we
Oops.
were talking the unlimited, this is my first time in a while looking at these runs. Is the model for unlimited missile the same as just a missile expansion?
It's slightly altered, I believe, but it's not the expansion one, at least. Don't remember if it's the. I think it's a modified regular missile model, the launcher one. But I don't see it often enough to remember precisely off the top of my head. I'll just show this yet again in the out of bounds business. Yes, it's larger version of launcher. Thanks for reminding me for that.
Thank you indeed.
And it does seem that we've one of the runners who's gone on off stream has managed to clear things. GG's to Baja Blood, who finished first in his race overall. And welcome in the chat, Baja Blood.
Congratulations.
That was indeed a seed, and we haven't even seen all of it yet, so I suspect there is a bit more still to come. We're actually now going for artifact hints, I guess. So with them not going out of bounds, they can only now go and check them. At this point, almost 2 hours in, you do kind of want to know what your artifact hints are.
Key hints.
Sky Temple keys,
Fetch
artifacts.
quest, we'll
Who
call 'em.
cares?
It's a fetch quest.
End game fetch item hints.
Prime 1 has its artifacts. Prime 2's got its temple keys. Prime 3 has batteries?
Make sure the batteries, you don't need all of them, but... The Cestrion is not enjoying themselves.
Recording to logbook. Recording to logbook. Recording to logbook. Recording to logbook.
Oh?
Crash resetting to get out of there quickly, it seems. Bit of a sudden moment. Yeah. As I was afraid of earlier, Cestrion is running into the bad side of trying to rely on out of bounds. Sometimes things go kind of wrong.
A little pear-shaped.
Yeah, Crash now gonna go grab the Corpse Engine Controller item the intended way. That's the upside to the pain of having to fight Chica. You don't have to deal with this out of bounds stuff.
Well, Sust got back out.
Yep.
They have their freedom.
And yeah, Cestrion can't get out. Normally, don't remember the exact intricacies of Echoes out of bounds, mostly because I dare not attempt it myself.
Definitely a lot of these tricks are up there on the skill level, per se.
From what I hear from people, there's a lot of knowledge involved and a lot of practice. There are lots of different ways people have figured out to traverse different places. It's all about knowing the right ones to apply to the situations you find yourself in. It can lead to very impressive results if you know what you're doing. Because earlier in his round, Cestrion did save a whole bunch of time by doing out of bounds stuff.
I think we're gonna see Crash get their underwater breath.
I'm not sure if Crash is gonna try for air underwater. I'm not sure if they're feeling comfortable with that. It is a very precise trick, but you basically get free unlimited attempts, so just gotta hop in there without using it. Also, really nice movement. So that's another thing with echoes. Quite often there are multiple ways to do the same thing, depending on what you're more comfortable with. Which is nice. Oops. Oh, back to the vanilla method, I guess, for this now. It's probably faster than trying to get back up. So you can try getting on top of those spinning platforms with the spider tracks, but they're a pain. Just run getting dragged out of the wall by a plunt. There's STK7 for Crash. Power way through everything. With all the tools they have, getting the ones they still need should be easy if I remember correctly. Just a bunch of traversal. With good follow-up for that one failed Seeker shot there by Sestrion. Seekers are not always working in the way they're supposed to. They have a habit of slightly failing, but if you've got quick reflexes like Sestrion shot there, you can compensate for it.
Speakers are in a realm of jank of their own.
There's also the only somewhat janky alternative of just using screw attack from the right angle, maybe combined with 1 or 2 missile shots. Which means you don't need to have the Seeker launcher, but it brings its own brand of jank, basically. Seekers are a really cool concept, but the practical implementation just has some issues. Like what I've done with the Dread's equivalent to Seekers in that regard.
Storm missiles, yeah. Those can be pretty funky too, with their respective locks as well.
Yep. It's just an inherent potential issue with that kind of weapon design, I guess.
Cest back at it again in the labs of sorts.
Well, Crash grabbing another SDK.
Andrana.
Crash only has 1 SDK to go, I believe, yeah, so that should be, I don't remember which one it still is. There we go. Another SDK for Sestrion. Progress is being made. And a warp to start for Cestrion, I think. Yep. Well, yeah, that is a point. Cestrion will have to once again skip that Super's door to get the final bosses. I guess that's the price you're paying for avoiding Chica.
Well, with how comfortable we've seen Cest being in the void.
As long as it's not that bit of Torvus void, it should be fine. Going through there to check hints was very clean, so...
Oh.
I believe Crash got their temple key.
STK is probably after the PB Guardian.
Yeah, because Cestrion did PB Guardian, right? Yeah, Cestrion did
Cest
PB Guardian.
was-
Crash didn't do PB Guardian yet.
Cest did PB very early in the run.
Yeah, Cestrion did PB Guardian during their Torvus traversal part. So yeah, that means Cestrion, this should be Cestrion's final SDK. Right on the way.
So not having to get supers has really worked out for them.
Yeah, it looked a bit iffy for a bit, but
And then we remembered PB Guardian was required for STK.
a couple required bosses, and this one is hard required, so... But that was one of the key advantages Cestrion got by doing that wall crawl early on to get those hints early.
So now it's a matter of whether getting supers will help Crash catch up with Cest from wall crawling, or I don't know what I was gonna say afterwards.
Yeah, that's the key thing here now. Crash isn't that far behind, but does have some catching up to do. Looks like someone managed to dodge a bullet by deciding last minute not to play this seed. That's always nice.
From one hex seed to another.
Crash slowly making the way back up, and then suddenly very quickly. Not sure if it would have been faster to warp to start there. Oh yeah, Boost Guardian for new players is the great filter, I'd say. Well, Sestrion sets up.
BG was definitely one of the defining difficult bosses.
It's so mechanically different from other bosses is the key thing, I think. That also makes it interesting, but it is a challenge. And yeah, Sestrion is very much in the lead now, especially with this out-of-bounds movement going quite well. Sestrion needs to do this again, because they didn't feel like fighting Chica to get supers.
Granted, not needing to fight him has turned out very well. They also didn't fall for a Morbus bait.
Yep. Plus, with the earlier wall crawl, they got hints way earlier than Crash, so that helped them out a lot with focusing their travels. Oops. There we go. Crash on their way to Dark Oasis. Yes, final bosses are on, as you might be able to tell. Which means that that unlimited beam ammo is going to be pretty useful. Oh yeah, send in the Sonic Booms.
The damage! And here's why we collected all 10 Borgars.
Yeah, not worrying about power bombs here is such a relief. And now time to aim for some kneecaps, or well, right behind the kneecaps.
I used to be an Emperor until I took a screw attack to the knees.
Well, the time of no longer being an Emperor is going to be pretty short with the world exploding soon afterwards, so... Yeah, apparently there was some...
There it goes.
Yeah, apparently there was some deleted mechanic, but they kept the hitboxes. So you can do that. It's basically part of the list of things that are vulnerable to things they probably shouldn't be. But it's practical, so why not use it? Now we're approaching the biggest RNG fest of any Echoes run with final bosses enabled. Hello, Dark Samus.
Time for round 2 of things that shouldn't necessarily be vulnerable to screw attack.
As at the center.
Stay away from the center. Stop it.
So far, so good. This is looking pretty clean. There we go.
Well done.
That was really nice. So, GG to Sestrion, finishing first on stream with a race time GG time of 2:18:31. Making them third overall for today, as Aster finished just a couple minutes earlier. And Sestrion will be joining us in the booth in a bit after taking a minute to gather their breath. We got a lot of players running very close in this seed, which is good to see. Crash also delivering maximum bomb and firepower to Emperor Ing Phase 2.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome and GG, Sestrion.
Thank you. Ah, that it was hard.
That was a seed.
Quite the seed indeed.
And I have to say, I hope I put up a good show, since I did a lot of out-of-bounds and unlogic stuff.
Yeah, it was quite interesting to see, because you and Crash, there were a bunch of times where there were two directions to go, and you both went a different direction, but then did the bit the other one did afterwards. But the key difference is you used your out of bounds a couple times, while Crash went like inbounds intended route, fought Bait Amorbus and fought Chica for supers.
Oh boy.
So your out of bound time save is a key part of what kept you ahead.
I see. Yeah.
Crash just beat Emperor Ink, so...
I see. Yeah, the thing was... There was... I wasn't sure about Amorbus, if he had something. So... I was trying to make sure that, like... Are the SDKs easy, are they not? We had a good... good item collection in the Aegon.
Yeah,
like,
you had a nice arsenal pretty early on.
yeah, and that made me like do. Okay, I only have one SDK right now, so let's check out where the others are. Because usually, if you don't have like like 1 or 2, then means they're pretty late, or like they are all in turbos or they are all in tanks somewhere like that, something like that.
Yeah,
And then
there's something going on.
And then I read the SDK and I was like, what the heck? What is going on? Light suit required, dark visor required, speakers required, and that one supers, like I can skip most super doors stuff, but that one super door and Torvus energy controller, I'm
Yeah, that
not
took
really
some doing.
confident. I wasn't really confident with that. I think you noticed that as well.
Yeah, it
And
took
then
some doing, but it worked in the end.
yeah, so I wasn't sure how to escape the room again. I saw it once, but I couldn't remember correctly. So I paused, and then I looked where I quickly Googled and saw just how the DCR just boosted into it, bomb jumped and unmorph, and then he was like out of bounds again. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and I knew how to get inbounds again afterwards because I use that trick pretty often to get inbounds again with that plan that is like dragging you inbounds again. So I made my way like this, but I wasn't. I didn't know that you can do that, right? Like boosting into it and getting out of it again. But yeah, that was rough. So that's why I thought I was soft locked. Then I did it again. I was like, yeah, you had the screw attack somewhere because you still were like technically in the other room. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't make the transition this time. Last time I did and thought I was soft locked, but this time I didn't. And then I was like, you have the screw attack somewhere around here, and I didn't find the spot.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, Crash has also finished with a race time GG time of 2:23:14.
GG's.
Yeah. If Crash hadn't done that on Morbis, this would have been really close.
Where were the last two Torvus keys, by the way? I only found one, I think. One was in Plane of Dark Watch, though.
Well, the person to ask has just joined us here. GG Crash.
GG
Hey.
Crash.
That was rough.
Yes.
Would you do it again?
No. Well,
No.
yeah, no. I mean, because I think like this seed would be like infinitely better if I knew how to do the out of bounds that gets you down to dark lower Torvus without supers.
I did that.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing here between the two of you. The key
Oh.
differences are Cestrion didn't go for Amorbis and used out of bounds a couple times, but the time difference was basically the Amorbis time. Between
Yeah,
the two
that's
of
what
you.
I was gonna say. I figured I got baited by Amorbis. That made the difference. Because I went into it thinking, oh, you know what, Amorbis is probably gonna have super missiles. And of course it was the other one.
Chica
Yeah.
was just like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from Amorbis, I think my biggest regret with the way I routed the seed was that after getting Spider Ball and finishing up all my Aegon stuff, I went straight to Torvus when I wish I went and did the Sank Loop. I think that would have been better. Because that would have got me Annihilator, which then I could have comboed back into that last key for Chica. And it would have gotten, what else was up there? Boost. And I think there was other stuff up there, but I don't remember. But yeah,
Was
like,
Watch Station.
right, yeah. But yeah, like, because at the time I felt really good about what I did, because I was like, I'm gonna go into Sank's Fireside, but then decided against it to go do Labs first, because like, what if there's Spider Ball back here? And I found it, and I felt good about just doing those 3 checks in Sank's Fireside and leaving, when I really should have done the whole loop. But that's like, at the time I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing with There were a couple times where the two of you made the opposite choice, and in the end, it kind of canceled each other out again.
Yeah.
Multiple times you guys gave each other high fives by going back and forth between each other.
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like I did a ton of just stupid running around to find stuff. But at the very least, I got Sonic Boom. That's what matters.
I got
yeah.
that too. It actually helped me in the last fight in Emperor because I didn't have supers. I skipped supers, so I didn't have to fort Chica and didn't have to find the Torvus keys.
How is Sonic Boom's damage against Emperor Ring? Because I just spam Annihilator shots.
It's like a supers, so
Oh, okay.
you also need like 4 shots, I think.
All right,
And-
so
Or yeah.
Yeah,
no,
so
it's a double damage thing then.
no, it's not a double damage thing.
Oh no, I
it's-
mean like I would rather use it only when I have double damage because that's 2.
Yeah, the thing was, I was like, yeah, I gonna shoot supers. Oh wait, no, I don't have supers, and then I switched back to
Have you-
Annihilator,
oh.
and then yeah,
Are you like not comfortable doing just Annihilator spam or?
I don't like that now. I
Yeah.
like it simple.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I had to reset because I was dumb and thought I was soft locked in Torvus energy controller, but I saved before, luckily. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So you skip supers entirely. So what out of bounds
Yeah.
gets over there?
You have to like screw attack in Torvus Temple in the tunnel, and then you have to kind of get a good distance between the 2 doors, like that one that is leading down and the one that is leading like up to controller access, and you have to either jump a bit up so that you do not hit the loading trigger for the lower one and you fall all the way down.
Oh.
So yeah, that you do want to make sure that this does not happen. It's like the key factory there. If you have a good enough height, you can like jump on the super door. You can either just trigger the door, open it from out of bounds, and just go back and like get inbound somewhere, or you can go further to Torvus energy controller out of bounds, and then you just there's a way to get inbounds in the Torvus energy controller room. You just like walk straight like the entrance, and then you're just gonna fall down into it, and then you just can grab the item. And then I didn't know how to get out of bounds again to skip the controller access wall there. You normally have to like put a bomb in there and then it turns, but so you had the wall like facing Torvus energy controller. So if you do a whoopsie like me, you think that you're soft lock because like, oh no, how do I get back?
I'll have to check the VOD to see
Yeah.
everything because out of bounds is like is kind of above my head. Like I'm listening to you explain this whole process. I'm like, yes, I get it totally.
That is me
Yeah.
exactly as someone who barely does any speedrunning.
Yeah.
So thank you for
It's-
allowing me to try it and attempt commentating. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
problem, man. Always nice
This
to
is-
have fresh people.
And with out of bounds visual examples are so nice to have.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So
I was thoroughly
go.
entertained all the way through from both of you guys. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I did the out of bounds also in from Dark Torvus to Lower Dark Torvus. I did that too. What did I do too? I think
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did that
the-
one.
the-
You did the,
for SDK hints I did the out of bounds.
and then you did it again to actually
Oh.
get there for final bosses. The only one you really seemed to struggle with was the one for Torvus NG controller.
Yeah, that was because this was the first time I actually ever did that. Because I was like, no, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight Chica for that.
Wasn't Chica required last week too?
Could be, I don't know.
I see because I dropped out of last week. It was either like last week or the week before something. Chica was
I
required recently.
I forgot last week. I wanted to participate, but I forgot the time.
Ah, damn.
I'm having
Yeah.
trouble keeping track of which brand of evil was in which seed this month because it's been a rough month so far.
Yeah.
Well, it can only get worse.
Yeah, I
Knock
feel
on
like
wood.
that. I actually feel like that the I don't know if it's the patch or like the Randomizer itself, but I feel like that light suit and stuff is like pretty much more required lately. I don't know what it is.
Not sure if there's been a logic update or if like just the RNG seeding has subconsciously evolved to be more malicious.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was definitely fun to do this seed. Was also kind of entertaining for myself.
Uh, the moment I saw like those 2 hints in succession for gravity and cobalt, I was just like, that's a red flag. It's only gonna get worse from there.
That's actually the reason why I did that. Why I did the lower Dark Torvos out of bounds, because I wanted that Cobalt translator for more hints.
Oh,
That's the reason why I did that.
Yeah, those hints. How many of them were for stuff you already had?
There was actually a good hint in what was it? Hall of Combat Mastery was the hint for Dark Visor. If you don't know where that was.
Yeah, there were a couple, but
There was a couple, yeah, but some were like pretty stupid. Like Seekers was the main research, and main research hint was saying Seekers can be found at second.
Only was also telling you where Annihilator where Annihilator,
Annihilator
was.
was hilarious. You pick up Annihilator, scan the clue. Annihilator is right here, right in front of you.
Yeah.
You see it.
It's
Come
two
on.
rooms from the room, 2 rooms away. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
That one was also pretty nice, yeah. Chica hint was in, I think, training chamber. That it was like, I already knew that Chica has something important in, what was it? Mining Station B had a hint that is saying that. That said like,
Chica has a
major
key item, yeah.
upgrades in Torvos Temple, Dark Torvos Temple. And yeah, training chamber was the Chica one, especially saying that it's supers. Yeah.
It certainly was a seed in the end,
Yes,
but you have
definitely.
overcome it.
Also, shoutouts on main PBs being where they always should be.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Limited Borger works.
Full arsenal for both of you.
Now I'm
All
hungry.
the PBs.
How dare there only be a cap of 10?
I had a really light lunch. Now I want a burger.
I totally agree with you. I had a light lunch and I'm just like, all this talk about burgers during this run. I want to go get a burger now.
Yeah. Well, let's say we
I
wrap
don't want
up.
to, which is kind of bad for me here because it's approaching midnight local time.
Well, it's dinner time for me, so let's wrap up.
Alright.
I think we've said pretty much all that there was to be said about this seed. It was certainly a seed.
Yes, definitely.
So, thank you to both of your runners here.
Yeah, no problem.
Cestrion and Crush Boom Bang. Both putting in a valiant effort today.
Thank you.
Very good run indeed.
Also,
of
thank
course-
you to our tracker, Op82. Excellent solo tracking effort today.
And of course, our commentators.
Why, thank you. I feel like I did nothing. Except put in a little quirk here or there.
It was a very pleasant commentary experience, which is always nice. Nothing too hectic.
All right. We got everything out of the way. I'm gonna go eat maybe a burger, maybe something else. We'll see you next mission. Thanks for watching.
See
Have
you
a
later,
good one,
everyone.
folks.